Okie dokie. So let's have a little bit of a move and groove first thing today and get our bodies warmed up a little bit. So starting with our feet hip width apart and just making sure that we've got even weight through the points of the heels, the big toe, the little toe, and remembering to try and not squish that blueberry that is sat underneath the inner arch of your foot. So just gently lift the inner arch of your foot slightly off the floor, which will activate up through the inner thighs, up into the pelvic floor, and come up into that core as well. So we've just activated through that medial, through that inner line, but we're not rotating out onto the outside of the foot completely. We're just not collapsing in with the arch of the foot. So just be aware of that position. Be aware if your weight shifted forwards into the balls of the feet and you're sort of clawing your toes, or are you backwards, almost leaning back slightly. So just fix that weight. And if you need to, what I find helps is to actually, on purpose, shift my weight forwards and backwards a couple of times. Notice how it feels to be in those two exaggerated weight shift positions, and then take it side to side as well. So just do that a couple of times, forwards and backwards, side to side, and then you'll hopefully be more aware when your weight's back in the centre. Okay, shoulders down away from the ears, just lengthening the arms down by your side. Tucking in the chin slightly, and as if you're sliding your head up a wall that's behind you, to really try and lengthen from the crown of the head to lengthen through the cervical spine. And then just creating a nice open chest and slightly drawing the shoulder blades together at the back there. So you've got a little bit of activation between the shoulder blades. And we're doing that without thrusting out the chest or the hips. So we're just opening the chest, lowering the shoulders down, activating the medial border of the scapula, and then where are your pelvis tilts? Are you forwards, are you backwards, or are you settled in the centre? If you're not sure, just place your hands onto your hips and just take a few of those anterior and posterior pelvic tilts, so you know when you're moving into an anterior and a posterior tilt, and then make them even smaller the next time you do it, and then bring the pelvis into neutral. So if it was that bowl of water, your hands would be on the top of that bowl and the water wouldn't be spilling out the front or the back. Okay, and then thinking of our core engagement from minute one of our class, we're thinking of the neutral spine, yes, at the pelvis, but we want to align the front of the ribs into the hips as well. So just think about that connection, lowering the shoulders down away from the ears. Okay, and then just a very gentle draw upwards and inwards of the pelvic floor. So it's not a huge maximal squeeze and contraction, as if you're trying to sort of hold in a wee. It's just a very little elevation, just so that the core's supported from the bottom. Okay, let's just do some forward head placement. So bring your chin down towards your chest. I'm just having a look at who sent me a message here. And then look up towards the ceiling. Just do a couple of those for me, chin to chest, and then up to the ceiling. That's it, good. And then bring the head back to center, and let's do a couple of rotations right and left. Keeping the shoulders and the hips square, gently rotating the head on the exhale, inhaling, coming through the center. Good. The next time you look to the right, pause there, and then circle the head in a half circle. So you bring your chin down towards your right shoulder, through your chest and over towards the left shoulder, and then finally up to the left. So we're creating that half head and neck roll. That's it. Let's do two more of those, just nice and slowly, so that we're not creating any dizziness or anything like that. We're just gently mobilizing through the head and the neck, taking that half head and neck circle. Good. That last time you finish looking up to the right, bring your eye line back to center, and then let's fold left ear to left shoulder. With the left ear to left shoulder, let's take the left hand onto the right shoulder to keep that down. Okay, once that shoulder's anchored down, we're going to take the arm out to the side instead. So the right arm is out to the side and my fingers are just relaxed down. My left arm this time is going to come onto the side of my head. And then holding that stretch, I'm going to lift my fingers up towards the ceiling on an inhale, and on an exhale, lower them down. Just do that 2 or 3 times and just notice if you're getting any increase in stretch, particularly as you lift those fingers up. Where do you feel that stretch? And it's not unusual to feel it right down through the full length of the arm, into the wrist, the palm of the hands, and the fingertips as well. So just one more time, slowly mobilizing through the wrist into flexion and extension. And then release down, relax the hands. In the center, just take a couple of shoulder rolls. That's it. And then we'll go right ear to right shoulder, or the way that you didn't go last time. Don't worry if you're not completely going the same way as me. Okay, so right hand across the left shoulder, just to tell that shoulder to settle down, stay away from the left ear. Release the hand, take the left arm out to the side at shoulder height, and let those fingertips be really floppy down to the mat. My right hand is going to come onto the side of my head just to increase that stretch, but my arm doesn't lift any higher. And then 4 times, inhaling to lift the fingertips up and exhaling to lower down. That's it. And I know that as I lift those fingertips up, I get a stretch right through down that nerve complex and into my fingertips as well. So just go gentle with this. Don't create any sort of sharp pain or anything. Just move within that comfort range. Good. And then bring the head to center, release the hands. And again, let's take 4 shoulder rolls. If it feels nicer for you to bend the elbows and bring the elbows and the arms into those shoulder rolls a little bit more, then feel free to do that. Good. Okay, let's go for single arm circles with rotation. Starting with your right arm, we're going to breathe in to take the arm up. As the arm passes the ear, we follow the inner elbow and we reach towards the back, opening up the chest and the hips, and we exhale to soften the arm down and finish where we started. So let's do 2 more that way. With the right arm, inhaling to take the arm up and exhaling to open it out and down. One more time. Inhale into that nice rotation. You can allow the hips to go with you. It's just a warm up. Left arm, inhale to go up. This time open and follow the inner elbow and exhale down. 2. And 3. That's it, good. Bring the body back to center and just give those arms and those shoulders a little shake. Give the wrists and the fingertips a shake. And then give the ankles and the feet a shake as well. So you're just shaking out any tension that might be within the body this morning. Let's carry on that theme and just do some shoulder shrugs with release. So standing a little bit wider than hip width with your arms by your side. Breathe in to shrug the shoulders up. And breathe out and just let any tension go. Relax through the knees as you're bending. Inhale up, exhale. As you're creating that gentle bounce, just shake out through the hands. Should feel quite nice to do this. And really verbalize the exhalation as well. It feels quite nice. Inhale up, exhale. Let that tension go. One more. Inhale, shoulders come high. Exhale, release. Good. And then return back to your Pilates posture. Keeping both knees slightly soft. Let's just do some side bends. So the right arm is going to come upwards on an inhale. On an exhale, we're going to slide our left hand down our leg as the right arm comes slightly further over. We breathe in to return to standing, and we breathe out to lower the right arm. And then left arm sweeps up on the inhale. On the exhale, we look down to our right fingertips, sliding our right hand down our leg, keeping weight even on both legs. Inhale to come up, and exhale down. So keep that weight even through both feet, even as you lean down to the side. Don't take weight off that opposite leg. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time with the left. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Okay. This time we're going to keep both hands on either side of the thighs. We're going to slide the right hand down towards the right knee as the left hand traces up the side body, up the rib cage, unfolds towards the ceiling, and then we're going to hold that stretch and place the right hand out to the side of the leg. So we've now got the right fingertips reaching down to the mat as we look down, and the left fingertips are trying to touch the sky. So you've got that nice opposing stretch through the arms and the hands. Weights even on both feet, knees are soft, cores engaged. Breathing in and out, nice and gently. One more breath pattern, and then come up to the center. Pause with the arms in the center. Just take the palm of the hands facing the ceiling and keep the shoulders down away from the ears. On a breath in, we're going to draw the little fingers together to present the palm of the hands to the ceiling. And as we exhale, open. Inhale, draw the fingertips together, palms lifted. Exhale, open. So for some of you, you might get quite a stretch through the arm and shoulder complex as you are drawing the fingers together, and then maybe a different stretch as you open them out again. One more time, fingertips together. Exhale, open out. Turn the palm of the hands down, relax the arms by your side, and we'll go the other way. So we're going to slide the left hand down towards the left knee as the right hand traces up the rib cage and unfolds to reach towards the ceiling. Left hand that's on your knee just opens away from the leg and reaches further down, as if you're trying to touch the mat with your left fingertips and you're still trying to touch the sky with your right fingertips. Take a couple of breaths, maintaining that side stretch. Good. And then come up to center, turn the palm of the hands up again. Shoulders away from ears, draw shoulder blades down into your back pockets. Inhale, draw the little fingers together, and exhale, open out. Inhale, little fingers together. Exhale, open. Two more. One more. Inhale there. Exhale, open. Good. Palm of the hands down this time. Okay, we're going to take an internal rotation of the full shoulder girdle as we add an upper body curvature of the spine. Okay, so actually if you start with your palms lifted like we just were, and then round the palms down towards the floor and slightly behind you, you take a very tiny upper body curve. Relax the head, take a breath in. As you breathe out, come up to standing and externally rotate the shoulder girdle to lift the palm of the hands, the chin and the chest. Inhale there, exhale, soften the knees, face the palms down to the floor and then behind you as you tuck your chin in. Bend the knees, breathing in there, exhale, come up to straight legs and externally rotate and lift to present the palm of the hands to the ceiling. Do that twice more, so you're internally rotating the full arms, the hands and the shoulders, and that movement really stems from the shoulder girdle, internally and externally rotating. So one more time either way, just with a little soft upper body curve. It doesn't have to be a big curve there. And exhale, come up. Just feel that length with the palms lifted one last time. Nice deep breath in. And then breathe out and bring those arms down. And just take a couple of normal shoulder rolls there. Okay, just slowly warming up through the feet, stand a little bit wider, take the hands onto the hips and bend both knees. Let's transfer the weight over into the right leg so we can lift off that left heel. And just spend a moment pressing through the sole or the ball of that left foot as you lift the heel. Notice any tension in the underneath side of the foot or on the toes. And then plant the left heel, transfer your weight over and lift off the right. How do the toes and the underneath side of the foot feel here? And then we're going to alternate over for 8, keeping the knees soft, 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Plant both heels, come up to straight legs and bring those feet back underneath the hips. Okay, we're going to do our little rise sequence now. Let's just do some plain rises to warm up first. To keep the hands on the hips, shoulders away from ears, core engaged, rib to hip connection. Okay, and remember when we come into the rises, it's as if you're squeezing a ball in between ankles and knees to stop those ankles ballooning out. Okay, so breathing in, breathing out as we lift those heels off. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out, try and lower those heels down with resistance. Just do 4 more of these, just in your own time. Squeeze the inner line right from that blueberry, inner, medial, border of the arch of the foot right up through the inner thighs and into the core. So keep that inner line connection as you rise up. Don't let those ankles banana out to the side and lower down. And find that length from the crown of the head as well. Last time, taking that rise, feel that inner connection, core connection, and lower down. Okay, we're going to do our little sequence where we take the arms out in front of us parallel to the chest. We stay in neutral, our feet are maybe a little bit wider than hip width, but we're still parallel. We're going to bend both of our knees. Once our knees are bent, we're going to lift off just the heels. We're then going to come to straight legs, so we come up into our rise, and then we're going to lower the heels down to where we started. So we soften the knees first, we maintain the height of the head and we lift off the heels. We then add the rise, and then we lower the heels down. Can we do that 3 more times, nice and controlled, keeping the rib to hip connection, the shoulders down away from the ears, and that length through the cervical spine. So it takes some control to get our bend, maintain our bend, lift our heels, then add the rise to go higher, and then lower down. 1 more time, and then we're going to reverse it. Okay, so we go to bend, we go to heel lift, we go to our rise, and then we lower down. Good, we're going to go straight into it the other way. So let's add the rise first. Then bend the knees, but keep the heels lifted. Then try and lower the heels without forcing it, and then come up to straight legs. Okay, so we add the rise first. We glue the core as we bend the knees, but keep the heels lifted. Then lower the heels and come up to straight legs. If you're slightly tight in the calf complex or your Achilles, you might find that from here, lowering the heels doesn't quite happen. Don't worry about it, don't force it. Just notice if that's you. So 1 more time, coming into the rise, shoulders back, core in, bend those knees, then lower the heels, and then come up to straight legs and relax down. Good, just give everything a shake out after that. Okay, lovely. We're going to come to a side step lunge. We did this one in Wednesday evening's class and last Saturday's class. So we're going to stand towards the left-hand side of our mat, or I'm going to stand towards my left. Okay. Hands on the hips, we're going to be stepping out in parallel with our right leg, nice and wide. When our weight comes onto it, we bend into that right knee as we hinge the hips back, knees in line with toes, and then we come back in. So we're stepping out onto a bent leg as we slightly hinge the body forwards, and then we step in again. Okay, so just getting used to that movement of stepping out wider, bending onto it, and stepping off. Breathing out as we step out, and inhale as we step in. 2 more. Exhale, step out. Inhale, step in. Keep the core nice and engaged to support that movement. Inhale in. Okay, we're going to do another 6. You've now got an option. As you step out, to take the arms to the side, and then as you return back in, we're lifting that leg just to come into a retiré position by the knee and lengthening the arms. And then we step back out with the arms out, and we step in to come into that balance. Okay, so whether you want to stay here, stepping out and just returning in, that's fine. Do another 4. Okay, it is tricky because you're shifting that weight with momentum. So when you save yourself onto a single leg, you really have to use that core to glue as you come into that single leg hold. 1 more time. Inhale out. Exhale, lift. Try and hold that lift a little bit longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Whew. Cool. Shimmy it over to your second side. Same thing. Let's just do 6 to warm up with the hands on the hips. Okay, left leg's going to step out. Inhaling to bend onto it to soften. Exhale to come up. So if I face the diagonal, you can see that I'm softly hinging, bottom back, and then inhale, stepping in again. Okay, exhale. Knee over toe. Inhale in. Stepping out, so we're getting a little bit of a dynamic inner thigh stretch on that standing side as well. One more, and then we can add 6 more, and maybe add that progression if you're comfortable. So this is my bad balance side, so we're stepping out with the arms, and then we're breathing in, and we're coming into that lift and that balance hold. Breathing out, and breathe in, step in and lift. Find that balance before you let yourself step out again. Inhale, lift inwards and upwards. Lengthen through the arms, but drop those shoulders. 2 more. Don't worry if you're not going the same with me. Oh, save that balance if you wobble like I just did. 1 more time. Good, and last time, holding and lifting for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. Whew. So our heart rate might be coming up a little bit. Oh, mine is anyway. So let's come into our split squat lunge position. So right leg forwards, left leg back. Okay, feet are hip width apart. And then we're going to lift off that back heel. Okay, and then just fix that position so you know that your weight's in between both legs, straight down. So if I face the side, my weight's not forwards and my weight's not back, it's straight down the middle. Hands on the hips, and let's just take a couple of split squat lunges to warm up. I'm going to breathe in to just gently bend the knees and breathe out to come back up. Breathe in, take a gentle bend. Exhale up. Remember that the weight is just going straight down. We're not leaning forwards with it. 1 more time. Inhale, bend. And exhale, come up. Okay, relax in that upward phase. We're now going to add a thoracic rotation to it. Okay, so take your arms out to the side. And then soften down into that level of lunge that you know you can hold. So it might just be a little micro bend, or you might go a little bit deeper. Knees over toes, parallel with the hips. Shoulders down. Breathing in here, as we breathe out, we're going to rotate over the front right leg. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out, return back to center. Inhale there. Exhale, rotate right. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return back. 2 more, just with those rotations and the 4 breaths. So we keep going to the right. We are rotating our upper body over our lower body. And return. Now we're going to add a little variation on. We're going to rotate to the right. We're going to breathe in and lift the arms up, holding the rotation. Exhale, lower the arms, and then inhale, come back to center. Do that 3 more. So we take the rotation, holding our squat. We breathe in and lift and lengthen. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in, return. Try and make sure those hips are still level and that you've not come into any funky twists. 2 more times. If you just want to stick to the normal rotation, you can. And obviously, if you need to come up to straight legs at any point and just do the arm movements, then you're more than welcome to do that. Return to the front. Come up to standing if you're not up already. Give yourself a little shake in between. And then we'll come down, left leg forwards, right leg back. Okay, feet hip width, parallel alignment, back heel lifted, weight in the center of those legs. Okay, 4 split squats, soft shoulders. Inhaling to bend, exhaling to come back up. Inhale, we soften, weight goes straight down, we don't lean forwards. Exhale up, 2 more, core engaged, shoulders are soft. And just be careful of this back knee in particular. Try not to let it roll in. Okay, this time arms out to the side. Again, anchor those shoulder blades down and in. Lower the knees just into that comfortable level of squat for you. Breathing in here. Breathe out, rotate to the left over that front left leg. Inhale, hold the rotation, stretching right fingertips to the front, left to the back, and then come back to the center. So we breathe in center, we breathe out, take our rotation. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out, come back. 2 more, just with the rotation. Again, if it gets too much on those knees, holding your lunge, either come up a little bit out of it or completely out of it, so you're just on 2 straight legs. We're going to do 4 more, but we're now going to add the raise of the arms. So we take the rotation. Inhale, this time we lift the arms up. Exhale, we lower the arms. And inhale, we return to center. Exhale, rotate, with or without the lunge. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rotate. 2 more. Good. Exhale, rotate over that front leg. Inhale as we lift the arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale to center. Are your hips level? Are your knees parallel? Last time. Back to center. Release the arms down and stand up. Okie dokie. Let's just take an inner thigh stretch, but more of a static one. So we're going to stand a little bit wider now. My knees are both soft, so both my knees are slightly bent. Okay. Hands onto my hips. I'm going to bend more into my right leg. As I do what I did before when we stepped out, and I hinge forwards with the body, slightly sticking your bottom to the back of the room without collapsing in the core. Okay, so my left leg is straight and my right leg is bent. If you need to take it slightly wider, if you're not feeling that stretch, then you can move your feet slightly wider. Both feet are tracking forwards. Okay, and then if you want to add a twist to this, same arm as leg that's out to the side is going to come onto the side of this supporting leg. And then my back shoulder is going to rotate towards the ceiling. I'm going to look up towards the ceiling, and I'm maybe also going to extend my top arm. So I'm either just holding a straight inner thigh adductor stretch, or I've added that twist and I'm opening my top arm as I look up. Breathe. If you haven't breathed yet, take a couple of nice deep breaths in and out. Whew. And as you're there, really feel your left groin sink down towards your right heel. Come through the center with both knees soft and just gently hang forwards over the legs. If you need to be up on the thighs, if you can't be there, that's absolutely fine. Just relax the head. Take a couple of deep breaths, and if you want to deepen that stretch in the middle, cross the hands onto the opposite elbows and let the elbows lead the upper body down towards the mat and open up through the back. One more nice deep breath in there. On the breath out, you're going to bend your knees even more. Use your hands if you need to and roll back up through the spine, nice and gently. Couple of shoulder rolls at the top, and then we're going to do that going to the left. Okay, so hands on the hips, we're going to bend into the left knee more. Tilt forwards with the body, sit your bottom out, but don't lose the core connection. Okay, right groin is now anchoring down towards your left inner heel. Okay, feet, knees and hips all facing forwards. So you're either there, keeping the chest lifted, softening the shoulders and breathing, or you're going to take same arm as leg that's out to the side across to the opposite leg. Create that twist, open the back shoulders towards the ceiling and maybe extend the arm up as well. Looking up towards the fingertips, take a couple of nice deep breaths. And again, try and bend more into that left knee and take your right hip down towards the inner left heel. Or you might just be still facing the front at your level of stretch, that's fine. Breathe, last deep breath in and out. And then return to center with both knees soft and just one more time fold over those legs. Keeping the knees bent the whole time. If you need extra support, place the hands onto the top of the thighs, or you can cross those elbows and feel the length of the elbows down towards the mat. Breathe, nice deep breath in. Breathe out, hands onto the thighs. Let's roll up slowly through the spine. Back to standing. Take a couple of shoulder rolls. Give yourself a minute there. We have been over with our head down a little bit. So if you need to just do a couple of slow movements, like a couple of shoulder rolls, or like I'm doing a couple of double arm raises and lowers, just to get that balance back. One more time. Okie dokie. Fab. Okay. let's come down to our 4-point kneeling position. So I'm going to move my mat a little bit closer to you guys now, whilst you guys come down onto your mat. Grab any extra padding, any extra blocks you think you might need, and I'm going to slightly put my mat on a diagonal. Okay, so little bit of mobility as we first come onto our back. So knees bent, feet hip width apart, and we're going to take our arms into cactus position. So elbows are the pivot point out to the side of the shoulders, and we're just externally rotating the shoulders just to see if we can place the back of the hands and the fingertips on the mat, on the floor. If they don't reach, doesn't matter. Go to where your boundary is with that movement. As you're in this position, be aware if you have arched your back. Naturally, the body will want to kind of arch as the arms do this. I want you to remember that neutral spine, holding the blueberry, not squishing it underneath your lower back, and sliding the front of your rib cage down into your hips. As we breathe in, pivot on the elbows and close the palm of the hands down to internally rotate. Exhale, come back into external rotation. So you're looking up towards the ceiling, you're internally rotating. See if you can reach the floor, I can't there, and exhale, come back. So just see what range of movement you are getting within your shoulders without forcing it, and making sure that the spine stays neutral and the core stays engaged. One more time. Inhale, internally rotate the hands. Exhale, externally rotate to cactus where we started. Now keep the right hand in cactus, turn the left arm down and in. And then I want you to look down towards your right armpit. And just hold that for a moment and see if you get more of a stretch on the front of the left shoulder. Then bring your head to center, switch arms. So left arm externally rotate, right arm internally rotate, and then you're going to look down towards your left armpit. See if you get a stretch there, maybe through the side of the neck or the front of the right shoulder. Bring the head to center and just do that one more time either way. So switch the arms, right up, left down, look towards your right armpit. Head to center, one last switch. Good, looking down towards the left armpit. Good. Bring the head to center and then just bring both arms down by your side. Okay, so making sure we've got that neutral spine, placing the blueberry underneath the lower back, holding it there but not squishing it. Okay, let's try and just involve those pelvic floor muscles a little bit, with a little bit of squeeze as if we need to hold off a wee. Okay, and then keeping the rib to hip connection there. Okay, we're going to lift the right leg to a single tabletop as we breathe out, and we're going to breathe in to lower it down, and then we're going to alternate and exhale, lift the left leg to tabletop and inhale, lower. Do 8 more of those alternate leg lifts to tabletop, just as your warm up, and make sure that when you're doing these alternate leg lifts, you're not swinging in the hips, or you're not opening the back and then closing it as those legs move. Keep the spine in neutral and really make the leg movement nice and accurate. So the knees coming above the hip and lowering back down, and then you're switching. That's it. 2 and 1 and lower down. Okay, let's do that again, but this time I can't do it, but place the hands behind the lower, the nape of your neck. And then when you're ready on an outward breath, fold your chin in towards your chest and scoop and round your shoulder blades off and come up into an ab curl as well. If you don't want to do the ab curl, just stay down where I am. So you're maintaining your ab curl and you're going to do exactly the same. Exhale to lift the right leg, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Or you can keep the head down like I'm doing. Okay, and we're doing 8 here. So you're either just doing exactly the same as me with the head down, or you've chosen to maintain that ab curl throughout your leg lifts and lowers. Okay, so still fairly easy, but keeping that core connection. 2 more, right and left. And then relax out of that abdominal curl if you've been lifted. Relax the head and shoulders down and bring both feet down. Okay, now next level, you're going to come back up into your abdominal curl with the hands softly supporting the back of the head. So breathing into prepared, breathe out, bring your chin towards your chest, and you guys round up into an ab curl. Okay, we're then going to lift the right leg off the floor, and then you're going to do a moment where both legs come off and you're going to switch. So you're actually scissoring the feet now, and you're only tapping the foot to the floor. Okay, so you can either do it as I'm doing it with the head and the shoulders down, taking more of a scissor switch now, or you're scissor switching as you're in an abdominal curl as well. Exhaling on the switch, inhale to pause, exhale, switch. Let's go for 6 more, and I'm just going to have a quick little look at everybody there. If the switching with both legs off the floor at the same time is too intense, plant one foot completely and then lift the other one. Breathing out on the switch, breathing into pause. 2, 1. Lower both feet down, gently lower the head and the shoulders down, and just come into a full body stretch just after that one for me. Allow both legs to extend away and both arms to extend away. That's it, and just enjoy that nice full body stretch for a release. And this is the time that you can let the ribs flare, and you can let the lower back leave the mat a little bit, and just enjoy that lengthening of the anterior body through the arms into the legs and the feet. Take a couple of deep breaths. One more deep breath in. As you breathe out, lower the arms back down by your side and bring both legs in again. Okay, we're now going to do an oppositional movement of the leg and the arm. We're all going to do level 1, doing 6 on each leg. And then I'm going to give you the option to alternate it a little bit like a scissor action and do it with both legs lifted. So first level all together. Let's take the right leg to tabletop and then extend the foot to the ceiling. So we've got a nice straight leg. Okay. Left arm, your opposite arm is going to go out in front of the chest. Keep the core connection. Hold the blue ribs to hips. Inhale there. As we exhale, lower your right leg away from you as you lower your left arm away from you, down towards the mat, without losing rib to hip connection. And then inhale, return back up to where you started. So we exhale, we lower down, without flaring the ribs or arching the back. And inhale, we come back up. Okay, do 3 more of those. Inhale up. Exhale away. Inhale up. One more time this side. So we're just getting that coordination. Return back in. Bend the knee. Lower the foot, lower the arm, and go the second side. So left leg extends above the hip. Okay, neutral pelvis. Right opposite arm off, parallel to the chest. Breathing in here. Breathe out. Lengthen that left leg like mad away from you as you take your right arm to extension. And then inhale, return back to where you started. But as the arm and the leg leave the midline of the body, don't let the back arch and tilt forwards. So keep that connection. Exhale away. Inhale in. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale in. So we're making the brain work a little bit here as well. Inhale in. And 1. Inhale in. Bend the knee. Return the foot. Return the arm. So that was level 1. So you can either do that again for another 6 either side, or this time you're going to lift your right leg, you're going to draw your core in even more, and you're going to lift off your left leg as well. Okay, the legs stay hip width. Both arms then come off parallel in front of the chest. Okay, so you guys now, using double arm and legs, you will take your right leg and your left arm away from the body and down. I'm not going to take it very far. And inhale, come back in. Exhale, alternate this time left leg and right arm down. And inhale back in. Now, if you want to make it harder, you could curl up into an abdominal curl as well, looking forwards, as you take your oppositional arm and leg. Okay? Away from the body and back in. If that's too much, you can stick to the level we did before with the supporting knee bent and the foot flat. and do 6 each side if you are working with a single leg. If you're working with double legs, you are alternating for 12. Hopefully you've all understood that description there. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if we're all together on that one. That's it, lovely. So as the leg and arm go away from the midline of the body, you're not losing that center control. If you're in an abdominal curl as well, instead of looking up towards the ceiling, look forward so you tuck your chin in slightly and just protect your neck. Once you've done 12 switches, release the head and neck down if you've been in ab curl, bring the knees in towards the chest and just relax down and out of it. Oh, good. Take a couple of knee and hip circles and then again come into a full body stretch for me. Gosh, this class is flying by. Might not be able to do all the exercises. Okay, once you've done a full body stretch, come back in, bend the knees, have the feet flat to the mat, hip width apart, and bring your arms down by your side. We're going to do 2 glute bridges. Nice and plain, really focusing on rolling up through the spine and rolling back down. Okay, so our inhale, we're going to open up the space behind the lower back. Exhale, we're going to squish that blueberry this time, press our lower back into the floor, anchor down through the soles of the feet, keep the knees hip width apart and lift up where you know that your shoulders, your hips and your knees are in line. We've not lifted too high. Inhale there, exhale, roll down, top, middle to bottom. I'll just do one more plane. Inhaling at the bottom with an anterior tilt, exhaling to posterior tilt and roll up through the spine. Excuse me guys, I've got a frog in my throat. Inhale at the top and exhale, roll down again, top, middle to bottom. Now this next time we're going to take a roll up, so come into that glute bridge roll up when you're ready. Once you've established that nice position, making sure that your weight is in between your shoulder blades and not on your neck, lift both arms up parallel to the chest. Keep your shoulder bridge, breathe in with the arms there, breathe out, take your arms directly out to the side to a T shape. Breathe in, bring them back to parallel, breathe out, take the arms to wide. We're staying in glute bridge. Inhale back to center, exhale, take the arms to eye, straight above the head, breathe in to stretch the fingertips away from you, breathe out to lower the spine back down, top, middle to bottom. Once your spine is lowered, then return your arms by your side and we'll do that again. So we're breathing in with a little gentle tilt, we're breathing out to roll the lower back into the floor, weight through both soles of the feet, don't have lazy feet. Come up into that glute bridge. Bring the arms parallel, breathe in with the arms parallel, breathe out, open them to T shape. Breathe in, return to parallel, open them to Y on an exhale. Inhale back to parallel, keep the hips where they are. Exhale back to I. Inhale in I. Exhale, lower right from the back of your sternum, down through the rib cage, down through the mid back, lower back, tailbone, and then bring your arms by your side. Okay, we're not done with the glute bridge yet, but we're going to just learn the coordination of the legs and the arms. So bring your arms parallel to the chest. Okay, we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to take the right arm back and the left arm down and forwards. Okay, so my right arm has gone back, so I'm going to lift off my left heel. I'm then going to return my both heels down as both arms come parallel again. Then on the next exhale, I take my left arm back, my right arm down, as I lift my right heel. And then breathe in, close both heels, bring the arms to parallel. So do that once again. Right arm goes back, left arm goes down. So I want opposite heel to the arm that's behind me, so I'm going to lift off my left. I'm then going to place my heel and bring both my arms parallel. I'm then going to take my left arm back, my right arm down, as I lift my right heel off. And then I'm going to return to parallel. Okay, so hopefully we've got that coordination. Return your arms by your side and roll up into a glute bridge when you're ready. We're going to maintain our glute bridge here. Remember not to go too high. Watch the weight isn't on your neck and that you've arched your back. Keeping that nice diagonal weight through the feet. You can feel those hamstrings and glutes. Arms parallel as we breathe in. As we breathe out, right arm goes back, left arm goes forward as we lift the left heel off. Inhale, return the heel down, both arms are parallel, and then exhale, take the left arm back, right arm down, right heel off. Inhale, returns parallel. Now, if you're happy, just keeping it alternate heel lifts, stay with the heels. If you've got that coordination and you want an extra challenge, instead of lifting the opposite heel off, you're going to actually lift the full leg to tabletop. Okay, so you're still working, opposite arm is going back to the leg that's lifting. And you are staying in that glute bridge as you replace the heel or replace the feet. Okay, let's go for 6 more. Exhale, inhale to center, and 5. Remember that you don't need to do the single leg bridge. You could just take the heel lifts. And if you need to come out of your glute bridge, please come out of it. 2 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale to center. Last time, exhale. Inhale to center. Return the arms down by your side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll down slowly through the spine. Ooh. At the bottom, just give your hips a little bit of a wiggle. As if you're kind of rubbing the top of your bottom on the floor. It's not the nicest image, but it feels quite nice to do. That's it. And let's just do a couple of knee folds here. Just take the arms a little bit wider and just soften gently both knees down towards the right-hand side as you keep the shoulders square to the ceiling. Breathing in and breathe out. Bring those knees back to center. Breathing in center. Breathe out. Take the knees over towards the left. Anchor both shoulder blades onto the mat. You can always look in the direction away from the knees. Breathing in. Breathe out back to center. 1 more double knee fold either side. And I'll give you the option, if you want to, like we did on Wednesday, when you come into your knee fold and your shoulders are square, core engaged, but you can extend that top leg in line with the knee and really lengthen that leg through the hip, but keep that left shoulder on the mat. So whatever leg is on top and extending away, the shoulder on that same side is pulling you back in the opposite direction. Then you bend in the knees and bring the knees to center. So 1 more time, I'm going to fold both my knees to the left without collapsing in my core. My top right leg is going to extend in line with my hips and my knees, and it's going to imagine, or I'm going to imagine, that someone's pulling on that leg to pull my hip towards my foot as the shoulder on that same time anchors me back. Take a couple of breaths, and then bend in the knee, return the knees to center, and bring your arms by your side. Okay, we're going to come up to sitting, and we're going to do some side kneeling work. Whew. Okay. So we should get through both of these. I do apologise if we overrun maybe by 5 minutes. So we are going to be up in a side kneeling position for this next one. I like to use the block to put in between my hand and the floor on that supporting side. So I'm going to support through my right side first, and I'm going to take my left leg straight out to the side with the foot flat and the toes forwards. Okay. And then I'm going to take my right hand down to the mat with the fingertips facing forwards, or I'm going to take my hand down to the block. And then I'm going to take my left arm up and over, so I'm in a nice open position here. Okay, I'm going to shift a little bit more onto that right knee so I can lift onto the toes of that left foot. Okay, if you need to, you could be down on a flat right side here, or maybe on a flat arm if that was too much. So you could be here if you wanted to. Okay, so find that length, enjoy that stretch just for a second. Okay, keep the core engaged, the hips stacked. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to lift the left knee and lower the left elbow to fold into a side crunch. And then we're going to breathe in and extend and lengthen to tap the toe back to the floor and reach away from us. So we breathe out to tap elbow to knee, and we breathe in to lengthen away. 4 more. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen away. One more time, exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. Now instead of this left arm being as far over your head, either bring the hand back to the hip or straight up above the shoulder. Try not to collapse in that lower side. Lift up through the rib cage. We're going to lift the left leg off the floor, but lengthen it away from us even more. We're going to hold it there and circle it back, keeping the rest of the body still for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Really lengthen that leg. We're ready to come forward for 8, 7. So the rest of the body doesn't want to be doing some kind of hula hoop action. Keep the body really still to circle and lengthen that leg. 3, 2, 1, and lower the leg down. Come up through center, and we're going to go over to the second side. Okay, so block or support down to that second side if you need it. So you're on your left knee this time, right leg is out to the side, foot planted. Feet, knees and hips facing your front. Left hand down, right arm coming up and over into that nice opening stretch. So just enjoy that stretch for a moment and then take a little bit more weight onto your supporting left leg so you can lift to the right toes on that lifted leg. So just enjoy that stretch for a couple of breaths. Try not to collapse down into this left side. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out, we're going to lift the right knee to the right elbow as we control and contract, and then we're going to inhale and lengthen away. So we exhale, we fold the body forwards into that little abdominal stroke oblique crunch, and then we inhale and we lengthen back out. 4 more. Inhale, send it away. Every time you send your leg and your arm away from each other, really try and maximize that distance in between the foot and the hand. Exhale, contract in. Inhale, lengthen away. 1 more time. Exhale, fold in, knee to elbow. Really create that crunch, and then inhale away. Okay, keep the length of the body, the lift of the underneath side rib cage, but take the right arm just above the shoulder. I keep my gaze down towards my mat, I lengthen and I lift my right leg just off. So it's not about the height, it's about the length. Imagine someone's pulling that right leg away from you. Keep the stability by engaging through the core and circle back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ready to come forwards for 8, 7, keep the body still, 6, 5, 4, lengthen the leg, 2, 1, tap the leg back down, bring the arm round, come to center. Okay, let's do the seated mermaid stretch either side. So I'm going to sit down onto my right side, so both legs around to the left. And I'm going to hold on to my top ankle. Okay, even though my body weight is wanting to go further down to the right, I'm going to try and take my right arm up and take my body weight to the left instead. If this is nearly impossible, because it is quite hard sometimes, take that top leg behind you and hold the knee and come over, and see if that's easier to sit into that seated mermaid but with open legs. Soften the shoulders, feel the hip bone anchor down on the right side, but the right arm is stretching up and over. Keep your chin in towards your chest and take a couple of deep breaths. Good, open out through center, wiggle the legs through the middle and over. So I'm sat on my left hip now with my legs to the right, holding my right ankle, or I'm going to take my top right leg behind me and hold the knee so my hips come a little bit more neutral, and then I take my left arm over. Oh, that's quite a nice side stretch. So breathe into it. Try not to lean back too much in that stretch. If anything, have a little bit of a C-shaped curve of the spine and come forwards, and that will help open up through the rib cage, the lats and the hip even more. So if you add more of an abdominal tuck and scoop to that exercise and almost let the arm come slightly forwards ahead of the face, you get a deeper stretch through that side. Breathe. And coming up with the hands and out. Bring those legs round to the front. This time we're going to bend the right knee, turn it out and bring the foot in towards you. And then we're just going to gently, so this leg doesn't need to be in any kind of splits position, it's just extended and slightly open to the side. So I know I'm at a funny angle to your screen now, but my hips are still facing my forwards. Okay, I've lifted my toes up to activate through my hamstring a little bit more. I'm sitting as tall off my sit bones as I can. If you need to, if you're struggling to sit up tall, you can always get yourself on a pillow or a block for this one to help the hips come above the knees. Whichever leg is out to the side, trace your left hand down the leg and then take the right arm up and over and come into that same little ab tuck as you're in that side stretch. So now we're just involving those hamstrings a little bit as we soften over. Breathe into any stretch that you come into, even if it's just a really slight side bend without flexing those toes up. Relax the head and breathe. Open back up to centre, switch sides. So left leg is now going to fold in. Right leg is going to gently open up to the side, just ever so slightly, but my hips are staying forwards. I'm going to lift the toes on my right foot to immediately activate through my hamstring. You don't need to fully extend that knee, you can have it a little bit soft. Right hand coming down towards the knee, left arm is going to come up and over into that side stretch. Otherwise, you can keep the right knee bent, straight, push through the heel, lift the toes, and then create a little bit more of an upper body curve as well. And again, breathe into these stretches. Good, last but not least, we're just going to come up through the centre, stay on your block or your cushion if you've got it there. We're just going to release the legs out in front of us. Parallel, if you need to keep them slightly bent, that's fine. We're going to breathe in, sit off our sit bones as tall as we can, and as we exhale, we're just going to tuck the chin, slide the hands down the front of the legs and come into just a soft forwards fold. Just to where you feel that barrier. Now, I know when I do this stretch, I actually feel it more in my head and my neck, strangely enough. And you could feel it anywhere from the back of the heels and the ankles up through the back of the legs, maybe the lower back. And if you're like me, maybe a little bit tighter in the neck. The more you tuck your chin, the more you're probably going to feel this in the hamstrings. So just be careful. Don't force any amount of stretch here. You could keep the knees bent and the feet flat and just relax the head and breathe. Take a couple of nice deep expansive breaths in, and on the breath out you're just softening into that stretch. 2 more deep breaths. Nice expansive breath in and a release breath out. 1 more time. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good, and roll up to seated and just take a couple of shoulder rolls there. Okie dokie, everyone. So I have slightly overrun, I am sorry. I've overrun by a couple of minutes there. So we haven't got time to do our relaxation, unfortunately, for today. But you guys could do that if you've got the time now to put to that. Okay, great session. I'll just stop that